Hello, everybody. Back again for another episode of the Genesa ThoughtLab Podcast. This time we were lucky enough to catch all the artists from the Hyperdrive Tour that we're co-hosting with the Bass Turtle guys. Yeah, poster back there. They put together an epic little tour they built their own stage. It's this cool, like, supersonic video mapped archway, and yeah, it's just a cool group of dudes that are all kind of rolling across Western Canada doing their thing. And we have them here on Friday, March 25th, which is 2 days from now.
2 days from now, when this podcast was recorded on today, Wednesday, March 23rd, which means that we will be releasing this podcast on March 24th on the Thursday, so that you guys can catch it and then come to the Legion on Friday and come and get down with us. Yeah. This is pretty awesome because this is the first time that we've been able to, have artists in that we wanted to interview and hang out with and be able to promote the show there and afterwards. So yeah,
just kind of snag them as they were coming through town.
Yeah,
they're playing Edmonton tomorrow night, and they're playing our show, and then they're doing Red Deer. So yeah, we'll have links, of course. I mean, there's 4 guys. We did 6 people in this podcast. There was
a little bit of microphone sharing. Some of the voices might.
We had the 2 people from Gangstronauts, we had MetaphOracle, and we had Perkulat0r. So yeah, 6 people at the table. We'll have links to all of their artist pages and their music and their schnazzy projects and everything that they're into. So yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 days, or I guess tomorrow, whatever. Whenever you listen to this, just come out on Friday and enjoy the show. See you guys in a bit.
Genesa ThoughtLab Video Podcast.
Hello!
Hey guys.
Welcome back to another edition of the Genesa ThoughtLab Podcast. We are not necessarily live from our basement. This will be a live recording released after the fact.
Yeah, probably the most live one yet, though, because we're going to be releasing this one like the next day for the first time instead of waiting weeks. So yeah, we're kind of catching up. This is, I guess, the 11th one we've done, but
being released in various orders. It doesn't even matter at this point.
So, introductions. We have with us today, we've got Perkulat0r, Benny.
Hi, I'm Ben.
We've got Josh, MetaphOracle.
Hello.
And we've got the Gangstronauts, which is a fucking awesome name.
It's an amazing name.
Thank you. What's up? I'm Johnny. I'm Thad.
Awesome. Do you go by Thaddeus Maximus as well?
It's a nickname that just came about. Some people call me Thaddeus. Most just say Thad, though.
Because I contacted Thaddeus from Astro Harvest, thinking that was the Thaddeus that was. So I was like, yeah, we got to line up a podcast. And because he's like Astro Harvest crew, we got a good way through the conversation before he was just like, shit, I don't think we're talking, like, are you talking about a different Thaddeus?
Funny.
And I found out that, yeah, you guys actually share the same nickname.
Yeah.
But you guys have put together this friggin' awesome Hyperdrive Tour. How has it been? How many shows have you done so far?
It's been 5 shows so far.
5 so far.
We're supposed to have 6, but haven't canceled. But this is our halfway mark right now.
Which one canceled?
It was in Nanaimo, but
oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah,
the
Victoria though.
The venue essentially canceled like 3 months of shows and like switched to doing a bar and not like a live venue anymore.
That sucks.
It happens, man.
What?
You guys are
was on?
Yeah.
Edmonton tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just kind of like stopping through Calgary on the way. Ease up on the driving a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty crappy when you gotta like roll up to a show after 8 hours of driving and then set up and do the show and then tear down. So we try to like, if we can get most of the driving done the day before, we'll do that.
Speaking of setup, so you guys are doing your own stage setup. You're bringing it with you, which is pretty cool. I saw only like a brief little video of it that you guys posted, but how did that come together?
Most of the shows that we do in Vancouver, we always do our custom stages.
Yeah.
So Neo Studios, we either do our own shows or get hired by other people to do visuals for their events.
So that's you guys in Neo Studios?
Yeah, pretty much Johnny and I have been teaching Johnny to do visuals for the past little while as well. So most of the time we'll sort of tag team stuff. But yeah, it's a few years in the making so far.
Sweet.
We had our 3-year anniversary last month, actually.
Nice.
Just a wee one.
Yeah.
Does it pack up nice? Like, it looks like a pretty...
Yeah, it folds up. There's sort of a back and a front DJ booth to it, and then we're rocking like a 5x8 trailer that we've got a bunch of gear and all of our sort of stuff. So made it a little easier. But yeah, Benny and I think back in like October, we were shooting the shit at a show, and then I came up with the idea of just like putting together our own tour and tackling a bunch of the West Coast. Johnny and I did some shows last year with Emotions throughout BC, Alberta, and then we did a small swing with Stylus Beats.
Cool.
And so we sort of just made a bunch of connections through that led into making our own sort of independent tour of sorts.
Sweet.
Cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever met the Bass Turtle guys?
No, our friends G-Dubs and Tripsy played a show like a month or so ago, and that's how we sort of got linked in with them.
It was G-Dubs that backed out last minute, I think, right?
He's not gonna, I don't know why, but he's apparently not going to make it anymore, I guess, eh?
His girl's pregnant and stuff, and I think both
kind of a good reason.
Him and Tripsy, I think, work at the same spot, so I think for both of them to take time off, I'm not sure the case, but something like that.
That's fair.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
decent.
How have the shows been? Like, has it been a great success?
Yeah. I mean, like, we've had a dance floor at every show, which is like definitely one of the kind of things that I like to gauge the success of shows off. Like, if sometimes you can't get as many people out as you hoped or whatever, but as long as there's like a bunch of people enjoying themselves on the dance floor, I consider that a success.
Man, some days if it's just like 1 or 2 people, it can just make it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's just those golden people in the crowd.
Super diehard ragers.
Yeah.
Just freaking out.
There's been a couple of those for sure.
How long have you guys been like touring like separately, like aside from this tour individually? Like, I know I only just heard of your name within the last year, to be fair.
What? No way.
Yeah.
2
Year
years?
and a half.
Yeah, I've only been at it for about 2 years.
Yeah.
I just started touring like start of 2014.
Yeah. Because you were at Motion Notion last year on the Spectrum stage. You started there.
Yeah, totally.
That was cool.
Oh, yeah, that was...
Yeah.
You were playing at the same time as like Infected Mushroom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually...
We disinfected mushroom.
and Long Walk.
You disinfected mushroom?
Ditched.
We caught a bit of it, but I was just like, I'm not missing this.
Seen
man.
Infected Mushroom before, like Regulators music. Should probably just be there.
Yeah, I was surprised. It was like an amazing turnout for playing at the same time as one of the main headliners.
I did feel bad
really
because
stoked.
Long Walk was playing at the Unity stage as his alter ego Zemus. And I had never actually caught one of those Zemus sets yet.
Yeah.
And we were like standing there waiting for him to set up, but he kept getting pushed back. Actually, wait,
was right before him.
Right?
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Okay.
I was like, so like, what should I kind of play? Like, are you gonna do like some house? He's like, don't even try. It's so weird. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, just do you. You're doing good. Don't worry about it. I was like, all right.
Girl, you do you.
But it got like pushed back like a good half hour, and I was like, fuck, I wanted to catch like that little half hour of this completely obscure weird shit that Dave's been working on before having to go bust out to your set, and then it was to you, and then it was to Infected Mushroom. I think I maximized potential that night. I
we saw like the
open.
opening track.
Yeah.
That Zemus laid down.
Zemus. Actually, I think he's going to be here next week.
Next week or May?
No, next week, because apparently
Long Walk is,
he's
Long Walk.
He's playing between... I can't remember which...
Oh, he's in Red Deer.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Something like that.
He's doing a swing that more or less follows our tour, like a week behind in a lot of the spots.
Totally.
Like Revelstoke, Nelson.
That's what it was. In between Revelstoke and... Yeah, he's going to come, and I think we'll get him on for the Rebel Cause podcast.
Yeah.
And then we got the boys from PK Sound the day after, so...
Sweet.
We're going to stockpile some...
Did you say Rebel Cause?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim's a really good friend of ours.
Yeah, Jim's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's great. Sure. He does all of our videos for our shows and stuff. And
yeah, pretty well.
Just generally a badass, good friend.
Yeah.
A real vagabond.
He's been... I think he's living in Calgary here for a month, so he's here.
Yeah.
I should have invited him over. I guess I didn't know you guys knew.
I think he's going back to the coast pretty soon.
Yeah.
I would
too.
Weeks,
I think.
Yeah. That's one of the things I wanted to ask is like, what's the scene like in Vancouver? Because you guys all live local Vancouver?
I'm from Kelowna, but they're from
Kelowna?
Vancouver, yeah.
Okay.
That's enough.
Kelowna, we've been there a couple times in the past year, and
I've only been once.
Well, once, but everybody talks it up. It's sad to hear that Arcade got
well, it's
stifled.
It's just like a little break.
Yeah.
It is gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
They just had to kind of revamp licensing and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's all it's been really. So it should be active pretty soon.
So what's Vancouver like? I hear that it's like much more West Coast like vibe in the music. You don't get like psytrance parties out there. You don't get.
There's one
organics.
weekly psytrance one, but otherwise it's all sort of the West Coast vibes. I mean, you get your drum and bass and you get your house and stuff, but for the most part, I think the crews that a lot of us tend to work with and tend to like vibe with, or go out to their shows or they come to ours, there's more like your West Coast sort of flavor.
Yep.
I think it's similar to Calgary in a way where there's a lot of crews all kind of doing the same thing. But I'm not too familiar with the Calgary scene, but in Vancouver, every crew kind of has like their own flavor that they kind of have like a hold on.
Yeah.
As they should, right?
It's sort of the same for Calgary. I mean, Calgary is very, very infiltrated with a lot of drum and bass. There's...
Infiltrated.
Well, it came and it took over. No, seriously though, like there's more drum and bass crews in Calgary than there is, I feel like, almost any other style of music. Like with what we're doing with kind of like glitch hop and mid-tempo and stuff, there's us, there's the Philosonic guys who, you know, they don't do shows as often, but they kind of represent that.
That's who had you guys out last time.
Exactly.
I miss that venue so much. The National Music Center was perfect.
I heard it got shut down.
It didn't get shut down, it just moved.
They're building a new location, which is like really, like, they went from being the National Music Center, which was like, you know, in a building that it was sort of good for it, and then they were just like, they got endorsed by like Bell, and they're building this
corporate sponsorship,
absolute masterpiece of a building. It's like two kind of sides with a catwalk in between, and apparently the catwalk has all of these plates or something like on the outside of it that catch like the radiation from the sun and then convert it into like vibration through these strings in the catwalk and in the hallway. So as you walk through the hallway, it like sings to you with like, so like the sun, it turns the sun into music.
You can go in and like record it and shit.
And plus they have like a super epic like vintage synthesizer museum, and just like, well, just any kind of music instrument you can think of. The museum is like national regarded.
That's in the building where they had shows?
Even in the old one, the upstairs that was always roped off that you could never go up to like during shows and stuff. I actually didn't find this out until basically the same week that I found out that the venue was closing, that they had that up there. It's like, why did we not take advantage of that?
So the new building is coming, I think, in the fall, and they shut down like using the old building so they could just start transitioning everything over. And I don't really think the new building is going to have usable rooms. Like, it's not going to really have like the same style and size of venue. They're all going to be either like seated or way too big. So I wonder if PK Sound got the bid for the...
They did.
They did?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was you that told me that, actually.
No, they said they were bidding for it to do all the sound for like the big halls, which I think it makes sense, because I mean Calgary is the home of PK, so you might as well support local business.
Yeah.
But it took a while for Van to get our own PK system, but the one venue that does it right now is Red Room.
Well, you guys have it in Victoria, right? There's a shop in Victoria?
Yeah. Anger, like DJ Anger, pretty much runs the shop out of there.
I was camping with him at Shambhala this year when he was having his beard French braided before he went on at the Village. I was like, that's cute.
Shambhala was a riot this year. How was that for you, that experience?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unreal to play there.
Yeah, the amphitheater is like, that and the Grove, what they've done with it over the past couple of years, it's just become like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Although I do miss like the rickety old, like shitty, the old, like the rock pit.
Yeah.
Just that wooden shack. It just kind of had this weird like character to it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely was cool. I think they should incorporate some of the old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take some of the pieces. Oh man. So, well, of course I want to be like, are you playing Shambhala this year? Can we expect to see you? Like, I can't really ask what festivals you're on because they haven't released their lineups.
Yeah, I can't really say much yet, but...
So the hint is there's some.
There's definitely some going down. Some of the same ones as last year.
Wow. You've been going all over the place though, right? Were you at Envision?
Not this year.
But last
year.
Yeah,
last year. Yeah, with Hidden Vision.
Have you done Lightning in a Bottle?
No, I've been really wanting to go to that one.
Yeah, I would recommend it. We went there. We went there in 2013, and it was mind-bogglingly good.
Well, I mean, it was California, and we'd never been, and we got sunburned to shit on the very first day.
Canadians can't handle the heat, but
running around like lobsters the second day, just like sun.
It was super cool though. They really focused on like art installations, like circa Burning Man style, and they had like 50 or 60 different live painters that were crafting pieces throughout the festival, and then at the end they lined them all up in the field and like lit them all individually and auctioned them all off. Some of them are really cool because they were like they'd set up at the back of the stage and they would paint things that they got inspired to paint by like watching the stage and like the energy of the stage. And those are
It's put on by the DoLab, right?
Yeah.
They do some of the craziest parties along the West Coast down there for sure.
I was really surprised to hear that they were the ones that do Coachella. And
they do the one stage. It was at Coachella a few years ago, and ended up spending most of the time there because it's the only one that has sort of like their own unique flavor.
They only do the one stage? I thought they were behind.
But they have one, from what I know at least, they have one stage that's just purely theirs, and they manage it like their own. And then otherwise, the rest of the festival like runs all the other stages type of thing.
Kind of like how Shambhala runs all
exactly,
of this. Okay, I see.
Yeah. So Coachella's not like a DoLab production, it's just like something they're involved
It's just, they get given sort of a spot to do their own thing, and then, Yeah,
because we were, after coming out of Lightning in a Bottle, we were reading an article in the paper about Coachella, and like kind of comparing the amount of trash and like shit on the ground that was at Lightning in a Bottle. And like Lightning in a Bottle was immaculate. They had garbage, compost, recycling, like 4 bins lined up in a row. And then you look at pictures from Coachella and there's just shit everywhere.
It's the I don't give a fuck attitude. Although you posted that picture recently about Ultra Music Festival and how bad it was, but there was a lot of people that were
kind of a lot of flack for that. Just be like, well, it gets cleaned up anyways. It's like, that's not the point. Why can't we just pick up after
it's
ourselves?
Like, it's the attitude that you're just
exactly.
A lot of people were saying though, they were just like, man, you have no other choice. Like if you're in there,
which
if you're
is
in the thick of it, you can't get out. Like
unless you want to just give up your spot and have to like fight your way back.
You can like put stuff in your pocket.
Well, it's like, here's my thing is that if you're running in with say like a 3-pack of beer, or like a 3-pack of water bottles, you drink those water bottles, they're lighter than they were when you came in. You can crush them and put them in your pockets or your backpack or something. Like, I don't know, you just don't have to.
I think it's generally just a vibe at most more commercialized ones.
Absolutely.
I mean, Pemberton even caught flack for that last year too.
Yeah, they got stomped on for that.
Yeah.
But everybody, of course, they run in and they take that opportune picture of like, oh, here's the worst snap, and then like 6 hours later, it's like mostly cleaned up.
Yeah.
So, social media, man.
Well, and that's what I think it was Will was saying about the village, you know, working the village for as long as it's been around, and you guys think it's all unicorns and fairy dust the morning after when you come back to the stages and everything's clean. It's like, no, we fucking do that. This isn't a bunch of hippie magic that just makes shit go poof.
I'll never forget the first night we stayed up all night at Shambhala. Saw the sunrise and then like walked over Pagoda and you just like jaw hits the floor. You're like, how like
nitrous canisters everywhere.
To do that much nitrous on a dance floor, like, let alone why are you discarding like metal? I don't know.
Because it all gets picked up afterwards.
Yeah, I guess. We were thinking of clever ways to with Astro Harvest. We were thinking of clever ways to encourage people to recycle their nitrous canisters because people just tend to discard them quite often, and Astro doesn't want us to do it because they don't want it to look like the festival's encouraging nitrous oxide use.
But we have pill testing and drug testing.
Well, mostly unadvertised. But
so if we don't
point being, we were gonna make a Plinko board and we were gonna make it like so that you could go up and take all your empties and like play Plinko with it, and then they would all funnel into like a big bin so that we could just take them for recycling. It is brilliant, but
you could play that off with cans and stuff too. Like any garbage, you could sort of do it with.
Peacher said though the problem was like if you do that, then people are gonna be like running back to their tent, being like, "Come on, we're gonna win a prize. Let's do more nitrous."
No, I'm pretty sure people are gonna be running back to their tent regardless of whether there's Plinko or not. You have nitrous? Fuck yeah, let's go.
Fact of the matter is, if they bring 200 hits of nitrous, they're going to do 200 hits of nitrous.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of how quickly or when. It's an opportunistic thing, I guess.
There was the one vendor at Motion Notion this year at like the very top left of the vendor village that were selling crackers and balloons.
Really?
And shit, yeah. It was like a head shop kind of vendor. Selling like pipes and grinders and balloons.
That was
and
I was going to say that too. Probably Rhiannon.
That's where G-Dubs and Tripsy Leary work.
Oh, really? Good to know.
Name dropper. Oh, that's awesome though.
So, do we know when Tripsy gets in then? No?
No.
Probably the day of the show?
Yeah.
I think he's greyhounding and probably be out tomorrow or what? Yeah, Friday I guess then.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
So how long does it take you? Actually, I was going to ask you this because we were going to tell the venue what time we needed the venue by. How long does it take to set up the whole stage? Like, is it?
We've got a pretty good system down now. We can pretty much do it in under an hour.
Under an hour?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's nothing too crazy. We're not, bringing like a whole ton of projectors and stuff. We just got one enough to do like 16 feet wide by 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
We've got some stands if there's ever like a bigger size stage where we can't sort of put it up against a wall. A lot of sort of maybe half the shows have been sort of a setup where we can just put the back sort of
right at the back of the room.
Right at the back.
What? How big of a projector is it? Is it? It takes up half the back of the van.
No, not even. I've got these two 4K projectors that generally for in clubs work just fine, and they're just two little sort of BenQ guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've done the trick for us for a while.
We had one of those.
Well, we had a 15K rented for New Year's, and it crapped out, so they ended up having to just like run back and get the 20K.
So
it was
way overkill. It's this massive fucking projector.
Yeah.
I didn't think that it could be that bright. I didn't think Coroplast could be like, it was like
20 to like 30K is like what you use outside for like a building facade.
Like pagoda style. Well, and we had like 3D objects cut out of this Coroplast, and it was so bright that like unless the visuals were doing something that accentuated it, you'd think it was just like a plain piece of like white Coroplast. No depth at all.
If we can bring a picture out, so we're not just like.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
I think I remember it
fun
too.
on
Actually,
stage.
it was Bima doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what Bima did recently, because like Bima and Bass Bus did that recent 1.1. I don't know if you guys saw like the advertisement for that, but Bass Bus does an incredible event here in Calgary. They don't like it's all Calgary talent. They don't book any like headliners, and they bring on all sorts of different other Calgary crews to like each slot would be like for a crew. So like Philisonic, who brought you last time, like they had like a slot, and you could have whoever you want representing or like tag teaming during your slot. And so it ends up being like a dozen or like 18 different Calgary crews getting together to put on one show, and it's all local talent, and it's super cool. And like we made an effort to play like as much like Calgary music as we could, and Bima did the most amazing stage on the main floor for that one.
They're doing some of the craziest stuff, for sure lately, and their new stuff with Excision and stuff like that is just bonkers.
Have you seen their project that they're going to be working on for the Beakerhead Science Exhibit?
The one that's the
base ship.
Yeah, the base ship has all the extensions out. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
There we go. Oh, you hooked it up.
I did, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Just in case.
This is the video from our New Year's show, in case anybody hasn't seen it.
It's the same venue too, right?
It's the same venue, yeah. We're only using the downstairs for it this time. New Year's we did both upstairs and downstairs, so you can kind of see. It doesn't look like there's any sort of texture there at all. Logan with his badass robot helmet.
And this was River and
Jim.
Video, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, just point being, we're pretty lucky to have Bima Visuals, like NPK Sound.
Yeah, right here.
All these other wicked crews, and that was like primarily one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast was because we have so much raw talent, so many different factions that are notable, and there's not really, well, there is. I mean, we do have kind of like radio and some podcast here, but
sort of. There's CJSW that runs out of the university.
Yeah, CJSW's rad. The Rum and Bass crew, they do a similar thing, but I think like they focus on just music, like just DJs and producers.
Right. Mixes for like an hour and then release those.
Yeah, whereas like I really like podcasts like Radiolab and Joe Rogan and stuff like that, and it's
weird
just like
eccentric stuff.
Yeah,
that's all over
they'll
the
talk
map.
about their dicks for a half hour, and it's hilarious. It's just no filters, no limits. I feel like this city kind of needed that because we have some pretty sweet people here. Not only here, but like people passing through, such as yourselves. Yeah. It's wonderful to have you.
Being on the road for a while too, after a while you don't even really want to listen to music, so we'll put on a podcast or two here and there.
Yeah.
You guys ever listen to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History?
I've listened to a couple episodes because I listen to Joe Rogan all the time. He's one of my favorite guests.
Yeah.
But I can't lie. Sometimes I can, like with the Joe Rogan one, I can kind of like stop it and then pick it up later. With Dan Carlin, I feel like you got to listen to one whole sitting.
Totally. I was trying to get through the second episode that he just put out of the King of Kings one today, and I feel the exact same way. Like if you stop, like I started listening to the second one and I was like, I don't remember listening to the first one. I had to go back and listen to the first one. I was like, yeah, I did listen to this, but he's like compelling and like dramatic, but I don't retain the information well enough.
Yeah.
It's like just like social studies.
I really like Joe Rogan for like the variety of guests that he has, and also like and like how they recur sometimes. Like I'm not a very big like MMA fan, so like I kind of skip over those ones.
Totally, yeah, I hear you.
And like you can kind of know sort of what to expect based on who he has. And,
well, that was like for the second episode that we did with Dave, Long Walk Short Doc. We're excited to have him back for a number of reasons. A, because he's fucking hilarious. B, because we had like a massive audio video glitch. Basically had to cut out like half of the entire podcast. This is when we were like just getting stuff set up in the first place and
we just kind of
figuring things out and
threw together whatever we had to try and make it work. We were using a different camera which kept running out of batteries, and we were for some reason using
he's trying to point at things.
For some reason using Ableton was screwing us up because like it was there on the computer. We decided to use it to track the microphones, and for some reason every 15 minutes we were getting this 7 to 8 second just like distortion and crunch, and like it would fuck up the audio, and we couldn't figure out why. So we did all sorts of tests, figured out that it was only Ableton.
Strange.
Yeah, so we had to ditch that, but our first like 3 episodes I guess that we released, they just had
sucked.
Yeah, it was just like, damn it, this wasn't the quality of like podcasts that we wanted to put out. So now
we're there now.
Yeah, we're dialed, and I don't know. I didn't want to do it for this one, but I do want to move into doing live stream here sooner or later. It's just like it complicates things so much because then you have to have like right now we're tracking our microphones to one computer, and the camera's totally separate. But if we have to integrate that all into one system and feed into one, like
you need a switcher.
Yeah.
Totally.
One thing that we are looking to do, though, is be able to bring this whole setup to music festivals and stuff. So,
that's a good idea.
Whichever festivals you guys happen to may or may not be at, we'll probably be able to run into you cats again.
We just to put together like a proper inverter and a battery, like a deep cycle battery, and then possibly solar, and we should be able to bring this whole setup just like in the middle of the field for a few hours at a time and charge it overnight. And like at festivals it's going to be amazing because you get all the artists, just like a gold mine of artists to talk to, festival directors, artists like vendors,
live audience in the background,
feed off the vibes and people actually
shit,
being at the festival.
Totally.
So they're all stoked.
So that's why we've got this little power meter running here just to see like how much wattage the thing actually like draws.
It is in the works.
Yeah. So definitely expect to see us, but because we actually decided the other day, like we're getting married in June, and
congratulations.
Nice.
All of our disposable income is being like swallowed by that, so we've decided that like we really still do want to put this project in motion, but we're gonna have to put it like a GoFundMe to maybe ask for some third party donation to make it happen, because it's gonna be a resource to the community, and I don't know. We're going to try it.
Check out the website, www.genesaproject.com, for more information on how you can make our dreams come true. It'll be the best for me and you.
Nice plug.
Right?
There you go.
All right. Where did you guys all start? Callie, you're not...
I just like to have something to fill with.
No.
Otherwise, I just get fidgety.
Where did you guys all start? Like, you said you were only doing this for 2 years? Or you've just been Perkulator for 2 years?
I guess just Perkulator for 2 years, but I was just doing like stuff in bands before that. Yeah. And I started DJing like end of 2013.
What did you play?
What did I play? I played death metal.
Nice.
Yeah. So did
Alex
this one.
is so happy right now. I've got a happy rushing in the background.
Nice.
I came from the metal scene too. It was like 2010 that a friend of mine, it's one of those people that just grabs your hand and is just like, hey, come check this out. And at that time, like gnarly dubstep was capturing the attention of everybody, and it was that like that primal feeling that you got from a crowd. Yeah.
I still never understood that though, because I always heard because I never grew up in the metal scene or anything. I was one of those really gay, faggy emo kids with the really screamy music and the shitty hair. And then when I met Tanner, like watching all of these metalheads go over to like really gnarly dubstep, I was like, why the fuck don't you guys like drum and bass? It's way more like.
Oh, I definitely did like drum and bass.
Yeah, I know, but it was dubstep for the metalheads. That's what it was.
It's because like I'm sorry, like if people like I think at the time like Vasky was big and like Excision of course and Downlink.
It's got the same like breakdown
kind
of element.
It's heavy.
That like metal has.
Like
with,
shifts between triplet time
to, like,
signatures.
A drop.
Yeah.
It's like the the big chugging breakdowns.
But it was that feeling of just like you fucking grab the speaker and you're just like just throwing your head into it. It was like, we have some common ground here.
Yeah.
And then of course, 6 years later, just being exposed to all of the cool genres that have blossomed and the way that like watching like trap come out of nowhere and then other genres like grabbing hold of it and being like, oh, I'll take a little bit of that, combine it with a little bit of this, add some salt and pepper. And
so you started with death metal, then you became a gangster.
I don't know where. I've always been really into hip hop too. So
That's fair.
That's where the bridge met was.
That's kind of where I'm trying to figure out like where the hell my style lands right now, because like I came from wherever the fuck I came from, and then
My Chemical
started.
Romance.
Yeah, shut up. Don't play hate right now. No shame. And then like started DJing with like psytrance and electro swing and stuff like that, and now like
those two go together very well.
Yeah. And now the music that I'm making is like pretty gangster, and I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
I don't know, man. I think like you see it a lot in the metal scene when like bands are like they would get just fucking crucified if they decided to evolve a little or change their sound a little, right? And I think I kind of like this community a little better because when people just start to try different things, it's more rewarded than it is like attacked.
For sure.
It's a little bit more.
I think that the whole genre of glitch hop and mid tempo though is a little bit easier to do that with, because it like glitch hop was supposed to be the thing that was like, hey, we can't coin a term to this, so let's call it this because it sounds like nothing else, but it also doesn't sound like what it is at the same time. It's such a broad term for such a large spectrum of music.
Yeah, it's hard to innovate sometimes when everything gets boxed into under a certain label or sound.
Well, that's why like I remember seeing like an early interview with Haywire. Like I think it was just like plugging The Voyage or whatever that album that he released, and like he made a point to say like I don't want to call it any genre. I don't want to be forced to like have to name it a genre. Just get over it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. Because when people ask me to describe what genre my music is, I can never think.
I shake your booty. That's all that matters.
I can't think of a single word necessarily, but you just have to listen to it.
Actually, sorry.
It's funny that like a lot of things nowadays are just getting classified as just call it bass music.
Yeah, it's a bass show. Music. Well, that's what it's being like kind of categorized as for Friday. It is a come check out this bass music show. Yeah. It's funny what you say about Haywire though, because I remember in like 2011 when we first kind of like discovered like Ill Gates and stuff like that. When I went on Google to try and find torrents for glitch hop
to steal music,
the only names that came up were Elisha, which I expected, and Haywire. And Haywire, we had absolutely no idea who he was at the time. Like he was just budding. Like
it's interesting that like a Google search for some reason showed us that artist.
And it was it. There was nothing else for glitch hop.
Pay attention to search engine optimization, kids. That's probably why somebody just showed him like, hey, here's how your name will come up in Google more than anybody else.
Monster Cat, they're on their ship.
Well, he wasn't on Monster Cat back then.
No.
How long was this?
That was
2011. Yeah.
Okay.
This was pretty way back.
We had just come back from our first Shambhala, and we had our schedule, like our day-to-day like stage schedule, and there was we had circled a bunch of names for like those.
To remember.
If you were standing, you're like, oh my god, this. I'm looking this up when I go home. Put a big circle around it, and I can't remember how we got on that tangent, but we started searching glitch hop. I think it was because it's probably Bill Gates.
Yeah.
He played on the beach that year. That was a super like fluffy like feel good set.
That'd be interesting.
Right after he played it after.
Spoonbill, I do remember that.
Spoonbill was the day after because Bill Gates was there dancing with us with Alicia.
Yeah, I gotta take my picture with him. Just saying.
No, it was. Oh, what's his name? He just got so much flack because he was like a dick on stage to somebody.
Mimosa.
Ooh, yeah.
Mimosa didn't play the living room though, did he?
Yeah, I remember
Did he play
that.
there?
Yeah, he played on a Thursday night. That was a crazy set. That was my first Shambhala, actually.
You like the talking the same set at 2011 on the beach?
Yeah.
I was there too. Yeah.
That set was so good. Like Ilgate's in Mimosa. I wanted to say Minnesota, but it's Mimosa. And we just had like a total bliss out moment that night. Like those two sets were perfect and
flailing in the sand, like pushing each other over.
That was when it was like they trucked in like a good, like nice play sand for the whole dance floor. I guess they still do, but for some reason it was.
It extended further.
Yeah. But then the friggin' river came and like ate up half the stage.
Oh no.
Like, yeah. Every year that the landscape of the beach stage changes so much.
Yeah.
I love that festival. I don't think I'll ever not go. It's really hard to shy away from something like we're so lucky to have such a profound production value festival like that here.
There was the one year, it was 2012, like the year that you. No, it was the year after you proposed to me when we kind of started feeling like, oh man, like all these assholes and everything. Everybody says about Shambhala is true, and
I feel like I was the only one that wasn't on board with everybody on that.
When Colbin got punched in the face and like all of this shit just kept going wrong the same year that we got engaged, it was like, hey, sweet, we're engaged now, but we don't have to come back.
It's 15,000 people, and like. Crowds of a certain size just start to get like certain elements of mob mentality and people just get rude.
I think it's good they capped it where it's at now.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people saying the same thing, that like it's not as good as it used to be, and like you hear that for a lot of festivals, and it's pretty shitty when you go to one for the first time and everyone's like, it was way better before you got here, you know?
Yeah, burners are so bad for that.
But I can't help but to feel like if you have that like mentality going into it, that you're gonna attract that kind of like energy around you.
The whole experience is what you make it. Absolutely.
Yeah, like why are you going to a festival to tell people that it was better before? You know?
It all comes down to your actual like your attitude, man. Whatever you bring to the table. Like Shambhala is a festival full of 15,000 people. There's probably still more awesome people there than there is at a smaller festival, like head count wise, but it's the percentage, right?
Yeah. And like it's bigger. If you lose your friends, like it'll be a while before you find them, you know, and like when you lose your friends at a place like that, I feel like that's like a big like test of character.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, because like if you just are worried about it the whole time, like it's gonna be a long time before you find them. You're gonna be bummed out, and then
don't find them unless you stop looking for them. It's the moment that you put them out of your head. It's like, oh fuck, there you are.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about cell phones? At festivals,
I've got mixed feelings. Like it can be really useful, you know. I mean, like especially now that like I've done festivals as a bachelor for a while, and I was like super anti cell phone. I just wanted to like fuck off and do whatever. And then I've got a girlfriend that's like a little different, because it's kind of nice to be like, hey, like we'll meet you here this time.
Yeah, you got to try and like. Well, actually, the system that Callie and I came up with at Burning Man last year.
Super important.
It was actually a really good system, and I guess I'll share it to everyone now. It was we basically split the day up into 3-hour chunks, right? There's like midnight, 3 a.m., 6, 9, and like there's lots of times where Callie and I'll just go on our own tangents and just be like, all right, I'll see you whenever. But if we ever happened to get lost, we just kind of worked by the system of like, if there's a point where like we don't know where we are, check back in at camp on one of those 3-hour marks.
Right.
And so you know, sometimes you'd be sitting there, you're like, oh shit, we're lost, but like, got 2 hours, might as well go hang out, you know. Like I
There's
know
so
when.
much of the city to see.
Yeah, it worked pretty well.
You would get super tired and just like want to take a nap or whatever. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go play in the dust storm.
Yep. And you got to roast weenies on the embers of the Burning Man this year. That was
weenies and
cool.
baked potatoes and maple beans.
I'm really sad we can't go this year, but the dollar is just.
Oh, it's brutal.
Oh, it sucks.
Actually, what's it at right now? I've been bitching about it for a month.
1.77.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1.3 Canadian or so.
Yeah, that's pretty much where it was.
Check.
Bringing American artists now is becoming really tough. We had to do that.
Yeah.
I hear that. All right, 1,000 Canadian.
Love the internet.
To US. Oh wait, no, it's the other way around. Sorry. 1,000 US dollars to Canadian currently costs $1,322. That's actually better than it was a little while ago.
Yeah, we were checking for
1,322 is
can't say that yet.
what?
I was gonna give some details for upcoming stuff, but I can't do that.
No. No, not until contract.
Just kidding.
Okay, so we got your beginnings. You came from the metal scene as well. What was your band called, if anyone wants to look it up?
It was called The Grindhouse.
The Grindhouse.
Grindhouse.
Nice.
Yeah, there's some grindcore stuff, obviously.
Nice.
I'll be looking that up.
There's a few videos on YouTube. Yeah, from back in the day.
The Grindhouse. I'm writing that down. Okay.
Put that in the links after.
You. Where did you start? Because you play trumpet?
Yeah. That's like the.
This is MetaphOracle, by the way, for those of you listening that we're speaking to now.
Yeah, I've been playing trumpet for 2 years, and I've been making music for 4 or so, and then I've been DJing for about 10. But I only.
Oh, so the trumpet was the late.
Trumpet's the last one, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've never even been in a band before. I saw Russ Liquid, and then I was like.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Man, so, I've never had the chance to see him.
It's amazing.
He's not from North America,
from Australia.
Right? Australia, right?
Yeah.
It's like Thriftworks is the one that always has problems getting up into Canada. I still have yet to catch Thriftworks. And then
he's supposed to play Shambhala.
The one time that I did think I saw Thriftworks, 2012 on the beach, like 4 a.m. I remember it vividly because Eric was really butthurt that he didn't get to see that set. But I remember lying in the like the rocks across the river and like just blissing out to what I thought was Thriftworks. And I didn't find out till like 2 years later that someone was like, "No, man, he didn't make it. Somebody filled in for him for that slot." And I was like, "I remember hearing some Thriftworks tracks." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just played them to like, you know, pay homage." Yeah. It's like, shit.
Well, that was like, who was it last year in the Grove that didn't make it, that Truth covered for unsuspectedly?
Leon
Switch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which was cool, because I'd never heard of Truth before.
That was one of my favorite sets.
Yeah, it was. Truth and there's like 2 sets later. It wasn't Leon Switch. No, because he was the one that didn't make it. Truth and...
Tipper, maybe?
No, Tipper was...
Tipper started a half hour early, which pissed a lot of people off. Because we were like ready, we were like, okay, we're going to go to this place, and then we're going to go 15 minutes early to catch and like get in and get a good spot for Tipper, and he had already started 15 minutes before.
We were playing mini golf at the Bellagio for too long, and then we were like, Tipper's in 10 minutes, and we got there, and they were already 20 minutes in or something. It was like, fuck.
What are you talking about? There's no mini golf on top of the village.
Oh, yeah. The Bellagio.
The Bellagio.
That's a mess.
Well, I'll never forget that, though, because I remember, like, expecting somebody and then being super into the music and being like, wait, this isn't who I thought it was, and looking over to the dude next to me being like, who is this? And he's like, excuse me?
No, I don't think we had any...
No, I was talking to somebody.
I'm pretty sure it was blatantly obvious.
No, I didn't know Truth.
No, Andrew. Oh, Truth. I thought you were talking about Tipper and Andrew Jones.
The guy that
How could you not know?
The guy that I was dancing next to, I was like, who is this? This is super awesome. He's like, excuse me? I was like, well, that's rude, thanks.
Truth is going to be here at the... he's playing the Lotus nightclub in Red Deer.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and Adam...
You guys want to go?
Let's do it. I've never been up to that Lotus nightclub. Have you been there yet?
No, I've heard a lot of good things
about
it, though.
Where you're playing Saturday.
Yeah.
We were there at Stylus Beats in the fall, and it's pretty nutty.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Man, we're hurting for venues a little bit. We need something that's just like perfect for what we do, because we're kind of lacking, and like we're fighting with... Like we don't prefer to do things in like the nightclub environment. We kind of like what the National Music Center was, where you can kind of craft your own environment. It's not really just like another club on the circuit.
You don't get random people coming in off the streets who don't really know the music and don't really care.
Yeah, Legion is like that though. That's the one that you guys have yet. So
yeah, that's what a couple people at the house we were staying at said that like Bass Nectar used to play there. Back in the day.
It's still not a nightclub though. Like it's still a craft your own environment kind of space.
And it's cool because like all the liquor sales, like they do have their own bars, but they're like volunteer run by the Legion patrons, and the money all goes to the Veterans Club. So it's kind of helping them out at the same time.
Yes.
Our more alternative spaces in Van are like pop-up sort of warehouse type spots that
we just don't get that
maybe
here.
Last a year, and then they'll move
till
or
someone
close down,
fucks it up.
And then, it's always a weird ebb and flow of trying to see what the next new spot is. And
and it's the same thing here. It's just one or like a couple people doing drugs in a bathroom or something stupid like that just ruin it for everybody else, and one incident and the club gets shut down and the space gets shut down.
People say chivalry is dead. I think discretion
is dead.
Or dead.
Write that down. That's good.
So I guess to follow on the beginnings tangent, you guys have been Gangstronauts for how long?
Bit over a year.
I think it's been like 2 years.
What do you guys do?
Up 2 years.
What would you guys say you do? Like you guys do the NEO Studios thing, right?
Yeah, I mean we do the visuals like on the side and have
what's your music thing? Like what's your style like?
I mean, we haven't gotten into production yet. We've been focusing kind of on like trying to do like a audio visual like presentation.
Yep.
So like the music that we look for and try and play out is like very like spacey, but like 808 heavy, kind of like space gangster shit, like
outer space gangster.
Gangstronauts. It all makes sense.
Yeah. The name's also a play because like we're not like that gangsters. It's like Gangstronauts.
Exactly.
I get it.
Gangsters in here, my friend.
I think the best part about like trap music too, especially the trap music that we play, is it's not that egotistical type of stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
So with that, like, I don't know.
That was the stuff that really kind of broke out at the start.
Yeah.
It was like the really like
Booty, booty, booty.
it was
my money.
exactly. Which
but I always say you don't have to be a gangster to be gangster.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's all in here.
it's like Zebler's recent album, man. Like embrace your energy.
Yeah. Let me see your energy. That's good.
It's great.
Manifest that shit.
So, I guess I want to know what like big festivals you're playing this year. But
there's a bunch that haven't been announced, but so far I'm playing Pirate Party.
I was gonna say, are you playing the Pirate? Did you play that last year?
No. I did one Conscious Culture for those same guys like a couple years back in Seattle, and they throw really cool shows.
That's right before Shambhala.
Bad, yeah. Well, last year it was the weekend right before Sham, and I was volunteering help building Pagoda, and he came out that weekend or that week before also. If it's the same weekend, then there's.
I considered it. It's only an 8-hour drive south of here.
Yeah,
it's not that.
Do you know when it's happening this year?
I think it's the second weekend of July.
I think it's.
Write that down.
Oh, I've already got it in my the festival map thing. Don't worry, I've already
second or third.
Cried a couple tears. The
God,
fact
that
I'm not gonna make
lineup
it.
last year, holy.
Yeah, where the fuck did that festival come from? They just like showed up on the radar last year with like one of the best like mid-tempo lineups. Of any festival.
They've been throwing shows, I guess, in like Washington area for a bit now, and they scoped out like that place down in Montana.
It's in Montana, yeah. That's well, and our friend Nathan had been there.
Booyah?
No, Nathan that went to Australia.
Yep.
Sorry, New Zealand, but he had been to a festival earlier that year on that same site, but it was more of like a psytrance festival, I think. And he was raving about how like you can literally like sit in the hot springs next to the stage.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing, like hot springs pool party.
Yeah, but it's like right on the highway. Actually, Logan Defunk
played there last year.
Yeah, he played there, and he said it was strange that like you'd be sitting in the hot springs like next to the stage, but you could hear the cars going by on the highway. You could like see them. So like, and the other side of the festival was on the other side of the highway. So you'd have to like traverse the highway to enjoy the festival.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it sounds really dangerous, but apparently they did it without any casualties.
Hey, we're pirates. We like bass. You're pirates. You like bass. Should just go.
Well, you probably can't.
I could make an exception. No, Shambhala's in August.
We could look it up, but we'll look it up.
Definitely a few weeks before Shambhala.
Definitely a few weeks before Shambhala, Tanner.
And apparently the American dollar's getting better. The Canadian dollar's getting better.
We'd only go down for a week.
We're gonna be broke after getting married, man.
I don't care. It'll all be fine. How do pirates do anyway? We'll just pillage our way down.
How far did your adventures take you last year? Like,
I was all over the place. I mean, like with the whole Envision thing. Yeah. So I was down in Costa Rica for a bit, and then I did like a bit of California stuff, and played like Nevada, like Nevada City. Yeah. And then where I went to Boston actually. I did like a little bit of East Coast stuff, like Boston, New York.
Cool. What's it like out there?
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I really like Boston. Played at Wonder Bar with G. Jones and Yeti.
Oh.
So that was like a really good show. And East Coast is definitely a cool scene.
Cool.
It's like definitely not like the West Coast, like all the festivals and stuff we have here, but it's like growing really fast and they got a lot of cool stuff going on.
I hear like the UK is really on and off. It's really like hit and miss. Like Hersa, you were saying Bristol's just that's why he comes to Canada a lot. He misses it here.
Not necessarily about the scene, it's just like the general way of life and the people being shitty and stuff. I can't say this, I've never been. It's just right here.
Yeah, it's a nice place, but
We're pretty lucky
so
to live in
rude.
Canada.
Yeah, big time.
You might want to move in on your microphone a little.
Just weighing back.
All right, biggest question of all. Who do you want to win the presidential election in the United States?
Bernie, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bernie for sure.
Jesus Raptor.
Jesus, I forgot about that
Yeah, yeah.
candidate.
Killface.
Yeah, Killface for president.
Killface for president.
Man, I
Who
heard.
was that dude with the wizard? Like he's like, or no, it's not a wizard hat. He's like walking around with like a rubber
yeah,
rain
I
boot
heard
on his
about that
head.
guy. Yeah.
His like main
that
point of
guy.
arguing is like to get everybody to brush their teeth at regular times or some shit.
Everyone gets like a free pony if he wins. And
Yeah,
shit.
and a free toothbrush or something. I want him. I mean, like other than Bernie,
He made some headway, didn't he?
he made a small amount
Good
of
for him.
surprising headway.
Him and D's nuts. Those guys. God bless them all. I trust them more than Trump.
Before
Let's just hope Kanye West is never president.
Oh my
is
God.
that supposed to be a thing?
Yeah, he's running.
He did, yeah,
or
he did.
next election, I think.
He said that he was going to run next term.
I know, right?
I'm gonna denounce my American citizenship. I think
Yeah.
I'm ashamed. I'm
Go
appalled.
get your passport. Let's burn it. Let's burn it
That
on
doesn't
camera.
denounce your American citizenship. Have you seen what people are doing now? Like I can't remember what the challenge is, but it's kind of like the ice bucket challenge. Only it's like way more hardcore, in that you're like lighting the American flag on fire and like defiling it and like stepping on it and stuff. All these American citizens being like, "Fuck this."
Wow.
Yeah.
They really stepped it up from the ice bucket.
Yeah.
The ice bucket was an
Escalated
inspiration.
quickly.
That's dark.
Yeah. It's a little strange.
I guess if you believe in patriotism.
Yeah. There's a lot of arguments. It's like seriously, it's like Chinese fabric that's being sewn into these flags. Like it's just a cheap piece of something that you attach symbolism to. Like if you're really patriotic, this kind of shit wouldn't matter and stuff. I don't know. I'm not speaking for nor against. It's just what I saw. The internet is a strange place these days.
Yeah, in conclusion, whatever this presidential election or this debauchery that's going on, I can't fucking believe it.
I think
Shit's gonna
Anonymous
hit the
is
fan.
gonna stop Donald Trump.
Well,
Hopefully.
I hear even Obama has made a comment about the way that Trump is acting. He's gonna get assassinated. Like someone's gonna fuck him up. Like if he's, especially if he gets elected, he's not gonna last more than a few
Either
weeks.
Trump's gonna get assassinated, or Bernie's gonna get assassinated by the Clintons somehow. If Hillary doesn't win, somebody's gonna get assassinated because she's dirty.
Well, it seems more likely that Trump supporters would be the type of people
That
that would
also.
assassinate someone. So who knows? But
Did you see that one rally where that old redneck in the cowboy
yeah.
hat
Punched the dude in the
fucking
face? Or
sucker
elbowed him
punched
in the
elbow?
face?
Like there was a black dude that was getting hauled out, and he was pretty peaceful. He was a pretty peaceful protester.
He like gave fingers to the crowd, but then as soon as he like pulled his fingers back down, this fucking super old 60-year-old redneck guy comes up.
He like steps in front of someone. He's like, excuse me, and he walks out to the aisle while they're taking him, and he's like, yes, you, and he just like elbows him in the face.
Yes, you.
Like gives him a concussion basically, and like he's charged and arrested for assault. It was pretty brutal.
Except it was the guy who got hit in the face that security jumped on top of and cuffed and escorted out of the building. Not the guy who punched him.
I can't believe it, man. I didn't think it's essentially like Idiocracy. It's fucking President Camacho. It's like a documentary now. The guy who wrote that movie, he commented on it. He was just like, I didn't realize that my film would become a documentary.
Yeah, the only comedy to become a documentary.
Yeah. Put this one in your ear and this one in your mouth.
Yeah.
This one.
Shout
in
out to
your
Mike
butt.
Judge. It was him. Was it Mike Judge? Beavis and Butthead? He did Office Space and Idiocracy?
I'm not sure, actually.
Yeah, I think it was, right?
I can't recall.
Fact check that. 2 fingers. All right. Oh shit! I had something I wanted to go into. Oh yes. What's your favorite artist right now? Each and every one of you, because I need.
You can't do one. There are like 3.
Wow.
We're just looking for music to
one.
steal. It's purely selfish.
Not at all. I just like hearing what people are really digging.
I'm really into Space Jesus.
Yeah.
It's been one of my favorites.
We tried to get him here for New Year's, but he was booked in Edmonton.
Oh damn!
Couldn't even go see him. And apparently we missed him at Shambhala.
We didn't know who he was at the time, which is really sad.
It happens.
Yeah.
Really digging that new Haywire album too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything he puts out is just a masterpiece.
Yeah.
You just can't fuck up.
Yeah.
You seen Have you seen his his demo performance pieces that he's put out?
Yeah, I've seen a few of those.
Just doing visuals for the last one they did at the Monster Cat Space when they did the live stream there.
Nice.
There were spots only like 3 blocks away from our spot in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I was really happy to
see them
hear
often.
when he decided to move to Vancouver, because he was down in Oregon or something, right? And
I think he was in
Yeah,
Minnesota.
very cool.
yeah, it was just nice to hear. I remember when he put that post out, he was just like, "Yep, I'm deciding to go music full time. I'm moving to Canada." Yes.
Except for when we tried to book him, it was like, sweet, he's in Canada. That means he'll cost less.
No, he's
He's
blown
pretty
the fuck
expensive.
up. Blown the fuck up, and good for him.
With good reason, yeah. It's not that he's worth any less than what his agency and everything is charging.
Yeah, it's tough because there's some artists, some of our favorites, just artists that are close to our heart, like Haywire, and we'd really love to work with the M Machine, but we'd have to throw a party
level,
that's a certain size, and it's
You're
kind of
rager.
I don't really want to throw parties that big because they're less intimate. It's not really the same feel.
We deal with that with a company called Blueprint in Vancouver.
Yeah, they have blueprints out
yeah.
here now too.
Exactly.
Here.
They've been spreading their wings or whatever, but I feel like they can lose money on shows sometimes because they are part of the bar and they make they make a lot of money that way. So
they're also involved in real estate. So
Are they
What?
really?
yeah. So
They
a
own
lot of the
the
partners and
clubs
stuff.
in Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
So their financing structure is
Okay, I
a little
see now.
different.
Yeah,
I'm thinking they're selling houses, starter houses to families with small children.
But at the same time, I don't think you get nearly as much production value and like you said, the intimacy that a lot of the underground sort of community type vibes are able to bring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even our New Year's show, man, we had 600 people, and I'm still meeting people that were like, "Hey, I was there," and it's like, "Oh, you were? Holy shit!"
Yeah.
It was more people than we've ever dealt with. It was
Yeah.
fun though. It
It
was
was
great.
fun. We're still hearing about issues that happened that we weren't necessarily a part of, even though we were the promoters of the show.
Yeah, people got fucking crazy that night.
Just ran people off the street.
What are you guys into? Well, just to make the full circle. What's your,
Just right now, if you had to
what's your
pick
music crush?
pick somebody
This guy
right now.
Ben Maxwell I came across the other day. He's
Yeah.
got a track called Inception. That's sort of what pops in my head. One of my he's got a
that
few
down.
sort of bangers, but again, probably most people wouldn't have heard of him.
Yeah.
Are you guys fans of Rick and Morty?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, a friend of ours just tagged us in tagged a track.
Well, first of all, have you guys heard the Andromelos remix that
Get Swifty.
the
Yeah,
Get Swifty
oh my
remix?
God.
Yeah.
Super hyphy gangster.
It's
perfect.
So to remix that.
Yeah, right.
Well, this
Only a matter of time.
this artist Jade Cicada just did a track called Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, and it's just totally saturated in Rick and Morty samples, but it sounds like Tipper. It sounds like
That's
new
pretty cool.
Tipper. It's really good, and
I got some of his songs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jade, yeah.
I tried looking up where the person was from, and I think the SoundCloud says the Shire.
Aw,
Jerk.
little hobbit hop. Hey, what do you got?
Really feeling Tiesto lately.
I knew
Why
it.
are you guys laughing? This is serious.
No, I don't know. Russ Liquid's always been a favorite. It still is.
Yeah.
I like Cursa a lot too.
Yeah.
And
Shout out to Oscar.
Medicine guy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with
Medicine
him.
guy.
Oh,
META.
and Josh Pan.
And Josh Pan, yeah. And X and G. There's so many. See, this is why I said I can't choose one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no,
I just mean just right
Russ
now.
Liquid Thriftworks actually just
Yeah.
dropped a really dope new album too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that 3-part one that Thriftworks put out was friggin' awesome.
Yeah,
That was crazy. That was almost 200 music. I was like, I can't
Yeah, it was 45 or 50 tracks.
in a month.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Did you see the album artwork? How it's it makes one tall vertical picture.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
See
actually.
a
So
giant,
sick.
a giant
It's
bird.
so sick.
That was sick.
Yeah, the one album is the feet, and one is the body, and one is the head. And if you
Nice.
stack them, it's that's fucking cool.
Cool.
It's super unique.
Still gotta pick
How
someone.
about you, Sean?
I've been listening to a lot of 85 BPM stuff lately.
Yeah.
Most of my stuff that I played out was around 140, and then I'd slowly get in 170. But my selection there was pretty thin. But lately, just been all that tempo, 160, 170, and Like right now, there's a lot of stuff coming out of Vancouver at that tempo that's getting actually like a lot of international recognition. Like Greasus has releases with Hospital Records, and so like their track "Ride the Lightning" was like one of the first ones they came out with and released publicly. I really liked that. And another local Vancouver group that just started is called Leverage. It's JF Killa and Earski or Erratic. I think maybe he was Erratic and now he's Earski. They're Leverage, Levrige, and they've got a track. They've got a track called Diamonds that's really fucking dirty.
Yeah, they like a music video of that stuff too.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Yeah, they're from the same record label as me, actually. Smoky Crow.
Smoky
But
Crow.
they did like their independent releases on that.
Nice.
Now they're Leverage, yeah.
Tanner, what about you?
What about me? I'm crushing on ABBA lately.
Don't pull that Tiesto shit on me, man.
No, I gave my, like, that Jade Cicada track is, well, that's a track, I guess. I don't know. As an artist that I'm feeling.
Don't give my answer because that's not fair.
What was your answer?
Zebler and Canty, hands down. Best sound design, aside from Tipper. On par.
Oh, Tipper's new EP is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, but Tipper doesn't do, like...
Doesn't do what?
Down grind. Like, Tipper's, like, either, like, super uppity, happy, jumpy, or he's, like, super mellow. And then you get Zebler and Canty, where it's like, I just want to hump the wall for no reason.
Did you guys catch that one that he did with Mr. Bill just recently?
Pay attention.
I don't know if I did catch that one.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So I wasn't paying attention.
I guess you weren't paying attention.
Zebler and Candy's pretty cool. They're like, Zebler is the visual artist. You guys might appreciate that. It's like an audio-visual coupling, right?
Let's see if I can
And
pull up a
Zebler is the
video
visual artist that usually works with like Spangle and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so he's pretty prolific in terms of his visual art.
Yeah.
And then some of their stuff through Gravitas.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
He was doing one of the stages down at Envision this year too, I think, as well.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I just realized.
We stumbled into Incanti playing a set at Burning Man this year at Ooligan Airways, which is it's a stage that's built out of the front end of a 737 or I don't know if it's a 737, but it's like a passenger jet, and the top is like chopped off and the DJ booth is in the cockpit.
Awesome. That's badass.
So, and then of course they have and that was probably the most like the best represented Function 1 system I've ever seen. They had it just perfect. And then they've got lights kind of in behind the speakers so that like if you're 100 or 200 feet back, you see the stage, you see the nose of the airplane, and then you see the lights and it looks like the wings. So it looks like the plane is just like crashed into the playa and there's like a fucking artist like playing right out of the cockpit.
I want to hear it too, though. It will?
What are you doing? I thought we were just throwing in some visuals.
Well,
this is making me uncomfortable.
It's amazing.
You're not selling it, Callie.
Okay. I'll show the stage design. This is definitely Zebler's visual stuff, which
he's
is
a total
awesome.
weirdo.
Show that.
I've seen Schwangel twice, and they're both fucking probably in my top 10.
This is a Boomtown.
Yeah, I haven't seen Schmongel. See, like
this is their setup that they come with.
Yeah, they do a rear projection setup.
This is for Zebler, yeah.
And yeah, we really we reached out to try and bring them for Callie's birthday, but they're going to be in Spain, I think.
So we're probably going to do them for...
Yeah, we might be news, but I don't think we're going to be able to bring the stage up because it's...
You don't know that.
Well, they have to drive it from like the southern states in a trailer.
You can always see if they could build it when they get here.
Well, Bima could do this.
Yeah, or you build it.
We could build it for them. I don't think that...
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll like as long as we had the projectors and the stage built for them. But God, that set was fun. He was so energetic, man. There was times that he like jumped up out of the friggin' cockpit and like grabbed the top and was just like lasering people. And, like, when the sound, like when he got really gnarly, he was just so into it. It was hard not to appreciate how passionate he was for his delivery.
That was one of like the best pieces of advice I ever got about performing. Was like it was right before our first show as Gangstronauts, and we were opening for G Jones. We were really lucky. It was like a pretty full room, and it was that Red Room on PK Sound. And I was really nervous, and my buddy just like pulled me aside, and he was like, "Man, like everyone's gonna have as much fun as you have."
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, and then I kind of put all my worries to rest.
For sure, one thing that I learned from like seeing Dave like Long Walk Short Dog play live and like really getting into his music and
an inspiration
also
to us
getting also being able to like have the opportunity to get to know him and hang out with him a bunch is that like the reason that so many people are into his music are because they've seen him that one time live and just remember that energy and feel that energy. So I love being able to be that person, like when you're super stoked on your music, everybody else is just as stoked on your music.
As long as it's good.
As long as it's not shit.
You get that one.
Small caveat.
Did you guys see what Deadmau5 did at Ultra this year? He followed through with his promise of playing death metal. Like, he actually
played Motorhead.
Oh, he played Motorhead?
Yeah, I think he opened up with Slayer.
Yeah.
And it all was like Motorhead.
That's fucking awesome.
He doesn't know fucks.
I think last year he played like a remix of that that track "Animal" by Martin Garrix, and he like mixed it in with like that B-I-N-G-O. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I think I remember hearing about that, but didn't hear the details.
Oh, it's just too cool.
Yeah, no, I think I'd have to. That would be my answer. These guys right now are our crush.
Is that Neil deGrasse Tyson in the visual set?
And the visuals?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back because that sounds pretty awesome.
In the
side? Oh my god, it might be.
Yes!
It is.
It totally is.
Just.
Or it's a black guy with a mustache. Racist.
No, but that's
taken
from his like meme picture or whatever that's
amazing.
That's gone around for a while.
Oh, also, check out Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast if you haven't.
Oh yeah, he's got one now.
Star Talk Radio.
That would be a good one.
Him and Bill Nye.
Oh yeah.
And they regularly, like, their co-hosts are always just comedians, and it's a riot. Like, it's pretty interesting because they have like people coming on talking about really interesting shit, but they just totally like bastardize it all the way through, and just the fact that the comedians are just comedians. I love like listening to like improv comedians, people that can just jump into a conversation like this here. Well, like friggin' Bender, like Mike was amazing at it. Like no matter what you said, it's like he always had something. It was hard to stay on a topic and keep going with it because he'd just say something and we'd just like erupt into laughter, and yeah, he was great. I'd have that guy back on. But we'll put the microphone like on the other side of the table.
So we can't scream.
Kept like moving in on it and just being like, "And we're back!" Just screaming.
There's no commercial breaks.
They like brought up the theme music for the A Team at the very beginning of the podcast. Just like put it up like da 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 da, and we're back.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Well, speaking of Neil deGrasse Tyson and Cosmos, actually another new artist I've been really digging lately is Tonio Sagan. Who's he's Carl Sagan's grandson.
What kind of artist is he?
Like
he made Humans?
Bass music.
What?
What?
I've actually got like a collab I'm working on with him right now.
This is fantastic.
He just started releasing music. So like,
what's his name?
Tonio Sagan.
Tony O Sagan?
It's
like
Antonio. Like, yeah, like the Antonio. So like Tonio.
Oh.
You're sitting here telling me right now that Carl Sagan's grandchild makes bass music.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Grandchild? He just released his first mixtape. It's called Stuff Dreams Are Made Of, and it's like a crazy mashup.
If he doesn't do like a solid pale blue dot mix, like...
That just blew my mind. I'm so stoked right now.
I'm writing best next to that.
Thanks for that. That's good.
Yeah,
Star.
That would be good.
That's so nuts.
Man, who else is famous, like, celebrity-wise that has kids in music? I feel like there was someone else that was notable.
Gwyneth Paltrow's daughter's name is Apple.
Shaq just started DJing.
What?
Awesome.
He also freestyles.
Nice.
Oh my god. What's happening? It's the Twilight Zone.
He had that Rave of Thrones tour as well with what's his name?
Oh,
We were
yeah,
there.
Christian Nairn.
Yeah.
We got to meet him. His hand is twice the fucking size of
Yeah,
mine.
he's been DJing like for 15 or more
DJ
years.
I heard he plays
Actor, I
really good
think,
house music.
Yeah, he's
actually
like
was.
a tech house DJ.
Yeah, he kind of
That's fun.
started out with tech house, and it wasn't like, it was engaging. It kind of like kept your attention, but then at one point he just turned it up to 11 and went into some like gnar electro house, and it was actually really cool. Like, he was...
Did he play like a remix of the theme song?
No, I don't think he did.
Not.
No, I
Good
think
for him.
he's
That's
probably
good.
so
He
done
probably
with
calls
that.
so
He's
tired.
crazy though. He's got like star tattoos all over his face and like tattoos all over his arms and shit.
Yeah.
Like gets covered up that you don't see in
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
in the series. He's a really cool guy, though. He's
Yeah.
super humble and just down to meet everybody and chat and hug and compare hands and shit.
Yeah, seems like the kind of guy that would be a super dope, like, friend, just super humble, chill dude.
Hang out with him.
Very excited to see how his and Brand's story unfolds.
I know.
Right.
We didn't get any of that in the last season.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. There's
Shout
like
out to
1 or 2
Game of
episodes.
Thrones. Well, what are we at? How much time? Are
We're sitting at just over an hour right now.
over an hour, and we haven't failed. And
Oh, we're still
I
rocking.
don't know, 35
Keep
watts.
on
Yeah.
rocking the free world, as they say.
We should be able to get this out tomorrow, eh? Just
Yeah.
this is our wonderful producer.
He's drunk.
He's drunk. He's knocking shit over.
Yeah, he produces all of our audio, makes it sound super crisp.
Yeah. So,
Just looks dashing in the corner.
because this will be coming out tomorrow, we can actually do a proper
Yeah, we can finally plug the show.
plug of show. We've tried to do this with artists that we've had on in the past. Be like, well, you should just go back in time to come to the show that we're here for in the first place. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that you guys were coming through. Just happened to be coming through here.
We were worried we
before
were gonna have
the
to
show.
do this at the Legion.
Yeah, I was prepared to bring the whole setup to the venue and kind of actually have like the background as like the stage being set up and just do like a quick episode there because I figured it'd be the
kinda cool.
easiest way to get all of you guys in a room at the same time without having to. I mean, it's tough to screw around with schedules.
It would have been you guys setting the stages up, though, wouldn't it?
I would tend to all lend a hand though. I
Yeah.
think for setup at least.
If it only takes an hour, we could have done this and then.
Yeah.
That's not what's happening, though. So, tomorrow night at the Legion.
No, tomorrow night in Edmonton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But this comes out tomorrow, so tomorrow it'll
Sorry,
be
Yeah.
yes,
tomorrow.
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night at the Legion. Come check out Perkulat0r, Gangstronauts, and MetaphOracle.
Yeah, and Tripsy Leary, and I can't
Not
remember who's
G-Dubs.
filling in for G-Dubs, but yeah, Eric
Somebody
just told
else
me briefly
who's
today.
awesome.
Chaos Theory.
Yes,
The
that's
one?
it. That's it.
Yeah. So, you guys want to wrap it up? You guys probably have drinking to do and just general
Well,
chilling.
thanks so much for having us here. Of
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Great
cheers
fun.
for coming. And yeah, once we get this shit set up at the festivals, I'm sure I'll probably run around and grab you guys and we'll just do some impromptu friggin' episodes. I'm hoping to have like kind of a speaker set up so that it can be audible to spectators, and yeah, that's going to be the most fun, I think. is
Yeah.
Doing it anywhere we want. On the top of, we could take, well, I guess no, I don't want to haul the setup up the mountain at Canmore. I was thinking of doing one like on top of the mountain. We could do it though.
No!
One person carries the battery, one person carries the table.
I'll listen from home.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
Disregardless.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been super dope. We are signing off. We'll see you on Friday. And if you're in Edmonton, see you on Thursday.
Yeah.
All right.
And Red Deer on Saturday.
Woo!
Oh, yeah, Red Deer on Saturday. Fuck. Oh, no, we can't do that. We're going to Edmonton to play on Saturday.
Yeah, not
I was going
happening.
to say, let's just go.
No, not going. Sorry.
I'm never going to get to see that Lotus nightclub.
This is the Genesa ThoughtLab Podcast.
Actually signing
for
off.
real. Peace out.
All right. Later.
Nightlife, yeah, we rock it all night. We live the nightlife, yeah, we rock it all night. Nightlife, yeah, we rock it all night. Yeah, we rock it all night. Yeah, we rock it all night. Nightlife, yeah, we rock it all night. Yeah, we rock it, yeah, we rock it.